Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the GFI Racing League podcast. I'm your host Nick Norris, driver the number 16 for the Tag E-Racing team, and welcome to episode 10 of the podcast. Hope you all been enjoying this. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't tuned in before, I totally recommend going back and checking out episode 1. A lot of useful information in there about the league. But without further ado, let's continue on with this podcast, and we're going to start with something new today. I want to try a new segment, and we're going to call this one the Racer's Corner. So we're going to look at some setups and photos shared from some people within our league, and we're going to do one driver each week. And this week we're starting with Dominic the Hammer Frappier, who drives the number 47 for the league for Team FHR, and he shared some really cool photos with us. First, let's check out this setup. This is amazing. This is awesome. He looks like he's got some great gear to rock with there. And then look at these race cars. I mean, these are just some great photos. I'm just glad that he shared these with us, and I hope that y'all enjoy seeing them just as much as I do. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Cup race. The Cup race this week was a big one. It was the Honor the Fallen 150 race, sponsored by our driver Brian Troy. It was a 100-lap race with 6 cautions and 21 lead changes. Really fun race. I mean, this track, it's tricky, it's tough. It's got some tight turns, tight sections. It can be hard to pass at sections. You really don't want to bottom your car out there in 3 and 4 or whatnot. A lot of bumps around the track, and it's a little bit tough to tame there, and you can definitely overdrive it if you're not trying hard to keep it within the limits. So overall, just a really fun drive and a really fun day, remembering the fallen soldiers for our country, which is very important. It was a very heavy race, but a very fun one. Let's go ahead and talk about our pole winner, who was Quint Hightower in the number 45 for Velocity, setting a time of 29.521. Real fast. Good job, Quint. Led 13 laps in this race. Did a really good job today. And then in P2 was Andrew Littman in the number 52 for Aftershock, setting a 29.593. Not very far off from Quint at all. Also very fast. He finished P36 today. Not the day that he was hoping for. Now let's get into our race results, where our race winner is just like a surprise. It's Jacob Hoskins in the number 23 for Aftershock. He started P21 and led 8 laps of this race, just came through the field, figured it out, put himself in position at the end to lead some of the most important laps and go on to win this thing. So congratulations and great job, Jacob. In P2, it was Quint Hightower in the number 45 for Velocity. Had a pretty good day, fell off from the lead there, but nonetheless finished pretty well, got some good points. And then finishing in P3 was David Brown in the number 6 for Ajax. He started P11, worked his way through some of the field, so good job there, David. Our most improved position of the day is Dalton Cleveland in the number 44 for Velocity. He started P35 and finished P8. That's up 27 spots. That's amazing. I don't know how he hunted through the field to get here. Strategy, driving. I mean, it was just impressive. Wonderful job. Congratulations, Dalton, on that finish. Our biggest fall of the day is Andrew Littman in the number 52 for Aftershock. He started P2, finished P36, a drop of 35 spots. That's just too bad. Sorry about that, and wishing you some better luck next week. Now let's go ahead and jump into the Cup points. We'll start with the team points here, where the points leader is still Ajax One Racing, very dominant in the Cup Series. They've got 826 points. They're up 60 this week with one top 5. A little bit of an undershowing today. I mean, not a lot of points there. They're usually getting 2 top 5 sometimes, so I'm not sure what happened to them today, but let's see what they bring next week. And then in second is Velocity Motorsports, jumping a spot, and they've got 675 points. They're up 67 this week with a top 5 and a top 10. And then in third, dropping a spot, is Tag E-Racing with 664 points, up 54 this week with a top 5. The points between Tag and Velocity are just so close. I mean, they're almost swapping each week. It just depends how the races go. So let's see how that goes next week. For our driver points, our points leader is still Kyle Purcell in the number 86 for SCR with 365 points, up 27 this week with a top 10. In second is Mitchell Sundstrom in the number 8 for Ajax with 363 points, up 25 this race. In third is Davis Brown in the number 6 for Ajax with 359 points, up 34 in this race with the top 5. Those 3 have been doing really good in the Cup Series, just holding their spots in the points right there. So congratulations to them, some really good performances. But yeah, the Charlotte race was a great race. Great to remember the fallen heroes of the country. and fun to drive there at Charlotte. I mean, it's a little tricky little place, but it's fun to figure out. Now let's jump into our Xfinity Series race. This was at the Chicago Street Course this week. It was a 25-lap race with 2 lead changes. Really fun race. Chicago Street Course is awesome. I mean, it's a tight course. You got to be really careful, very calculated and specific about where you're making your turns, how you're making your turns, brake in, throttle, all that. You don't want to slide the car out from the rear end. You don't want to hit the wall. I mean, it's a lot to pay attention to each lap. It's a lot going on, and once you figure it out, I mean, you can really have a great showing. So let's jump into our qualifying results, where we'll talk about the 2 fastest drivers of the day. Our pole winner was Michael L. Nelson in the number 15 for Tag E-Racing, setting a time of 1 minute 30.787 seconds. Really fast. Congratulations on getting that pole, setting yourself up well for the day. That's awesome. I'm not sure how many poles he's gotten in this series so far, but he's been a great driver for sure. Just not getting them wins yet. But nonetheless, congratulations on getting pole. And then in P2 was Kyle Hayne in the number 87 for SCR, setting a time of 1 minute 31.508 seconds. Quite a bit off there from Michael. Michael just found some great time in qualifying, and Kyle was not too far behind and still set himself up well for the race. That'll take us into our race results, where our winner was actually Kyle Hayne in the number 87 for SCR, able to make that pass on Michael in the race. He led 23 laps of this race, set the fastest lap of the race. Just did a really great job today, Kyle. They just pulled it all together, minimal mistakes, so wonderful, and congratulations on the win. In P2 was Michael L. Nelson in the number 15 for Tag E-Racing. Led 2 laps, had a pretty great day, set himself up well. A little bit of a mistake going into one of the turns, sliding the car a little bit too far, where Kyle was able to actually make that pass for the lead for the last time. And yeah, I know Michael wants to win. He's really digging. Just got to pull it all together, have a full perfect race, and he'll get it done. And then finishing in P3 was Kyle Purcell in the number 86 for SCR. He started P4, had a really good race, just very clean, very consistent. I started P3 and he passed me up. Just really great job from Kyle, being consistent, minimal errors. Wonderful day. Now let's get into the most improved position, and that was Christopher E. Green in the number 50 for Ajax. Started P20, finished P6, up 14 spots. Really good job. Just took advantage of every moment. Had a pretty good drive there, obviously. And just a good showing throughout the day from Christopher. So wonderful job. Congratulations on the P6 top 10 finish. Our biggest fall of the day was Dylan Hartman in the number 90 for FHR. Started P8, fell to P20, down 12 spots. Sorry about that, Dylan. But he's not too bummed because he did get 1 win this week, which we'll talk about later. But I mean, Chicago's tricky and it can be tough. Now let's jump into the Xfinity points. We'll start with the team points, where the points leader is still Tag E-Racing. They've got 645 points, up 69 this week with 2 top 5s. I believe Michael finished P2, I finished P5, and that's how we got those 2 top 5 points. So we did a pretty good job on the day, just didn't get that win, and I didn't finish P3 like I wanted to. And then in second is Ajax 1 Racing with 627 points, up 61 in this race with 2 top 10s. A good job from Ajax, not too bad for the day, pretty consistent. And then in third is Velocity Motorsports with 591 points, up 46 in this race with 1 top 10. That's an alright amount of points, but they're going to need some more if they want to finish better than third next week. This is a big week for the Xfinity GT3 and ARCA series. This next week is championship week. I mean, it's all on the line. Where everything's at now, that's pretty much set in stone for next week, and everybody's chasing that championship next week for those series. So it's going to be tight, it's going to be close, and it's going to be fun to see how it all goes. And then in our driver points, Kyle Purcell is still the points leader. He drives the number 86 for SCR. He's got 322 points, up 33 in this race with a top 5. In second is Sean Purcell in the number 74 for FHR with 288 points, up 23 in this race. And then in third is Ralph Gilbert in the number 9 for Ajax with 284 points, up 23 in this race. Kyle's got a good chance at clutching this Drivers' Championship, and we'll find out next week if he does. But Chicago was really fun. I mean, I love this course. It's fun to spend a lot of time on and really dedicate yourself to figuring it out, because it's worth it. If you put in the time, you get the result, in my belief. So if you didn't do that, great. My recommendation is spend way more time next time around, probably 4 to 6 hours maybe. I mean, that's how you're going to get the most out of your car. Now let's jump into the GT3 series. The GT3 race this week was at Oulton Park Circuit. It was a 35-minute race with 22 laps run and 1 lead change. Pretty fun race at Oulton Park. This is a nice little course, a little bit tricky, pretty quick. It's got some nice slopes and turns, and it's just a really fun place to start setting some laps. Let's go ahead and talk about qualifying, where our pole winner was Michael D. Shaw, the number 85 for SCR, setting a time of 1 minute, 33.453 seconds. Really quick lap. Congratulations, Michael, on setting the pole and setting yourself up well for the day. And then in P2 was Kyle Purcell, the number 86 for SCR. SCR just taking the top 2 spots in qualifying. Congratulations there. Kyle set a lap time of 1:34.143. Quite a little bit off there from Michael. Michael had really good pace in qualifying. Now let's jump into our race results, where our race winner this week was Kyle Hayne in the number 87 for SCR. He told us in his driver interview last week he'd try to get it done this week and be back for an interview, so you'll be hearing from him on Wednesday. He started P3, set the fastest lap of the race, led 21 laps. Just a really great day from Kyle, putting it all together. And then finishing in P2 was Tyler Carson in the number 34 for Ascend. He started P4. Found his way up 2 spots. Congratulations, Tyler. Just not enough to get that win. I know he's searching for it. 1 more week to the championship. Let's see if he can get it done for our final race. And then finishing in P3 was Michael D. Shaw, our pole sitter in the number 85 for SCR. He led 1 lap and just fell off from that spot, dropping 2 back, but still not too bad of a finish. Some good points for the team and himself. Our most improved position of the day is Keith Martinson in the number 58. He started P9 and finished P5, up 4 spots. Congratulations, Keith. Good drive on it. And then our biggest fall, or falls, because it was tied, is Kyle Purcell in the number 86 for SCR. He started P2 and finished P7, dropped 5 spots, tying with Grant McDonald in the number 4 for Ajax, who started P5 and finished P10, also down 5 spots. Just not great days for those 2 drivers. A little bit of some tough situations that they just were never able to bounce back from. So that's too bad. We'll see how they do next week in the championship race. That'll take us into GT3 points, where we'll start with the team points. The points leader is still Ascend Motorsports with 3,136.2 points, up 926 this week. Just a great team, some great drivers, and great performances each week. And then in second is Velocity Motorsports with 1,918.1 points. No change. They did not show up this week. Sitting in third is Tag E-Racing with 1,619.5 points, up 230 in this race because I got myself out there, started, didn't finish again. And then in driver points, our points leader is now Tyler Carson in the number 34 for Ascend, up 1 spot with 3,478 points, up 348 in this race. Congratulations, Tyler. You're now in that top spot for the last week. Let's see if you can get this championship. In second, following a spot, is Cliff Chanel in the number 80. He's got 3,155 points, was not able to make this race. That's too bad because this doesn't set him up well for next week for the championship. He's going to have to make upwards of maybe 600 points, depending what Tyler does. And then sitting in third is Cody Carson, the number 94 for Ascend, with 3,053 points, up 305 in this race. He set himself up well the whole length of the series, just had some really good performances, so he's been able to maintain that third spot in the driver points. But yeah, really fun race in GT3 this week. Can't wait to see who the champion is next week. That'll take us into our ARCA series. This was at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway this week. It was an 80-lap race with 5 cautions and 3 lead changes. Not too interesting in the front, but some great drive up there for sure, with just not a lot of passing, especially not a lot of passing for the lead, with just a dominant driver out there up front. But we had one driver that was able to just come out there, get it done, keep himself in position all day to finally make some good decisions in the end, the decisions that won the race, and he just did a great job. I was back there and able to watch that pass for the lead, and he really put it together well. So congratulations to our winner, who we'll talk about in a second. Let's jump into qualifying first. Our pole winner was Lucas Chapman in the number 17 with a time of 18.533. Really quick, and he was really quick all day, finding just a really good line around here, and really didn't see many other spots but P1 for the day. And then in P2 for qualifying was Quint Hightower in the number 45 for velocity with a time of 18.599, really close to Lucas, just not enough to set pole. He did set the fastest lap of the race though, but he finished P10, ultimately falling back on the day. That'll take us into our race results. That driver I was talking about, our race winner, Dylan Hartman in the number 90 for FHR, started P4, led 4 laps, kept himself in position all day to pass our P2 finisher, Lucas Chapman in the number 17, who had a very dominant day, led 76 laps, just not those last 4, where Dylan Hartman was able to come and close the job and get it done. Congratulations, Dylan. But also, good job to Lucas. I mean, just a really good day and not too poor of a finish either. Just falling back 1 spot. Finishing in P3 was myself, Nick Norris, in the number 16 for Tag E Racing. I started P5, was able to find my way past 2 cars and stay up there till the end, so I was pretty proud of that. That'll take us into our most improved position, which was Cliff Chanel in the number 80. He started P10 and finished P5, up 5 spots. Good job, Cliff, passing them cars and keeping in it till the end and putting yourself in a good position to finish off the day. And our biggest fall of the day was tied between 2 drivers again, just like GT3. It was Quint Hightower in the number 45 for velocity. He started P2 and finished P10, falling 8 spots. And then Sean R. Purcell in the number 74 for FHR started P3, finished P11, minus 8 spots. I mean, that's kind of funky. They started right next to each other, fell back just the same amount of spots, finished right next to each other pretty much. So I don't know how that happened, and I'm sorry that they each had a day like that. Hope they have some better luck in the championship race next week. That'll take us into our ARCA points, where our points leader still remains to be Tag E Racing with 614 points, up 63 this week with 1 top 5 and 1 top 10. We're setting ourselves up well for the championship next week. Really hope we can get it as a team. It's been an interesting 12 weeks in the ARCA series. Some adversity, some challenge, but also some good times. I was able to get a win for the team and get us some good points, and I think that might have been what put us in the lead. But anyways, we've been doing good, and I'm proud of our performance. Sitting in second is Velocity Motorsports with 557 points, up 57 in this race with 2 top 10s. They're really the team that we're racing right now, and they're having some good performances. I mean, 57 points is big on the day. So hopefully we can close it and they don't get more than that next week, and especially not more than us. Sitting in third is Skewer Cat Racing with 435 points. They were a no-show this week, no gain. So, yeah, I guess that's all to talk about there. Let's go ahead and get into our driver points, where our points leader is Kyle Purcell, the number 86 for SCR with 314 points. Remained in the lead this week, but didn't even show up. So that's pretty incredible. Still able to maintain it without even showing up. I guess you can do those sort of things when you get 4 wins in a series. Sitting in second is Lucas Chapman in the number 17 with 282 points, up 37 on the day with a top 5. That's a good gain on Kyle. Let's see how this shuffles out next week for the championship. Sitting in third is myself, Nick Norris, in the number 16 for Tag E Racing with 278 points, up 34 in this race with a top 5. No real shot at the championship, but I mean, anything's possible, right? That's the saying. But yeah, really fun race at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. This is a great racetrack. It's fun to figure out the quickest way around. If you put good time into it, you'll get a good result, kind of like Chicago Street Course. Short tracks are some really fun racing, but they can also be a little tricky because you don't want to do anything bad. You don't want to mess anyone up, and that is a little bit easier on a shorter course. But I thought it was a good race and a pretty clean race, not too terrible, and a lot of fun. But that'll take us to the end of this episode. I really hope y'all enjoyed this one. Make sure you're tuning in tomorrow for our Cup Series race. That'll be broadcasted on this channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then make sure you're tuning in on Wednesday for the driver interviews of last week. Those will be our winners. And then make sure you're coming back next Sunday for another episode of this podcast. Really hope y'all are enjoying these episodes, and keep tuning in because they'll keep coming. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.